Auntie Jo here with Auntie Jo Sews. So I had a request for a quick tutorial for making the base of the loaded envelopes that I make. You may have seen some of my other videos. I make Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving loaded envelopes usually, and I do other ones as well. But I wanted to give you a quick tutorial. I've already cut the base just to save time. This is simply an 8.5 by 11 standard cardstock paper, 65 weight. I cut the first page, or the first cardstock sheet, which is going to be the base of the envelope. I cut that at 10 inches on the long side, so your envelope's now 8.5 by 10. And then you're going to score it at 1 inches all the way around. And then what I like to do is I like to cut this corner to fold it to make an envelope. You know how when you're making an envelope, you like to cut them and make that angle right. So what I do is I basically just cut an angle, so that when I cut my next sheet, it's going to pop right in there nicely. So you're going to take your second sheet of paper and you're going to cut it. And I always do this just to make sure in case something's off. I am at 6.5 inches, if you can see that. So I know I need to cut on the long side 6.5 inches because, as you can see, it's already the correct length going that way. So we're going to take it to the 6.5 inch, and we're going to keep this scrap sheet like that, and we're going to check it out, and look at that, fits right in there. So we're going to get our glue, and if you've been following my glue escapades, hopefully we're going to be better today. Actually, my friend used to craft a lot, and her daughter was doing bedazzling and stuff, and actually gave me this bottle, so I'm super grateful for that because I use a lot of this stuff. The problem is I use so much of it that sometimes I forget to actually put the lid on it properly, so it gets kind of freaky. So, which apparently I have done this time. So we're just going to improvise. Use my finger a little bit here. Actually, the more glue the better, right? That way we can make sure it's really going to stick. And then I'll have to figure out the glue situation. I just got my small bottle fixed, if you've been following. I got my small bottle fixed. What happens? It runs out of glue. Not good. So, take your glue around your 3 edges here, like so. And then, wipe this glue off my finger here. Take your sheets, line it up so that the top matches with that, so we're nice and even. Press it down and fold up so you've got your envelope. And what I like to do is I take this bone folder and just press it down to make sure that we're really gonna be secure there. So there's your basic folder, or your basic envelope. And then sometimes I'll take this sheet that I just said to hang on to, and I will do like a flat pocket on the back, or sometimes there's the back, or sometimes I'll flip it over and I'll do a short pocket here, and then another pocket here, and I'll put a ribbon. Or I like to sometimes make a larger pocket, like maybe 5-6 inches here, put that first pocket down, give it some flaps so it opens up, and then put a smaller pocket on top. So I think for this one, probably, because I might want to do some stuff in the back for this folder, for this pocket. So I think what I'll do is I will give it a little give, and I can see it's about 1 inch. So I'm going to score this at 1 inch here, 1 inch here. I guess maybe we'll do a 1/4 inch here on the bottom just to see how we're looking here. Then see how it looks. I have no idea. I'm doing this with you guys. Sometimes it works for me, and sometimes I don't know what I did, but I didn't do it right. Okay, so that's going to be great for a back pocket. So let me get my smaller bottle of glue and see if we're working. You think, oh, and I dropped my little thingy there. You'd think if I knew I was going to do a video, I'd be a little better prepared. But I was like, you know, I'm just going to do a video. It's going to be fine. And here we go. So we're gluing. And again, this is just the base. So I'm gonna glue over here, and we don't want to get glue on my other sheets, even though it will dry clear. I prefer not to. And you can cut these little spots out if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let it go here. If you could see, I'm just putting the glue on it. I got some glue on the inside, and we're just gonna pop that on right there. And again, we're gonna take our bone folder, press it down really super well. So there's our back. And now you don't have to worry about the glue here because this is all going to be covered up with paper. Then in the front, I don't know, the front I'm thinking, I don't know, this is always a difficult choice for me. I think I'm going to make it just a large pocket first and then make a smaller pocket underneath. So I'll show you. So again, I know my envelope is 6.5, and this one I'm gonna make little fold outs for it. So I'm gonna cut it long side, 6.5, so I am wide enough, and then we're gonna measure. And right here, if you can't see it, I have a cutting mat from Joann's that has all the measurements, so I can see down here that I am going to need it to be cut at 6 inches that way too. So we'll do 6 inches this way as well. 6 inches. And there's other ways you can do this, like you don't have to make it flappy if you don't want to. You can just make it flat. I don't like that. I just like to use one flap. I don't get too crazy. And what I do is I take my spare piece here. I'll take it, cut it right in half, like that. And then I'll get my scoreboard here. Little scoreboard. Where's my little thingy? Oh, I should get more coffee while I'm doing these. Okay, and then just going to do it right in the half mark there. Other one, half mark as well. Score it. Fold it in half. Fold it in half. And you're going to take your little, what's going to be your bottom of your envelope, and score that about a 1/2 inch, I guess. Do we even need to score that? I don't know. Anyway, so there. So then, and it's going to be a little longer, but that's okay. You can just take your scissors, eyeball it. I do a lot of eyeballing, as you probably know from watching. And then got your simple little things that are going to make it expand out. And you can get really crazy with this. The more elaborate you'd like to be, you can get to the point where you're just making different flaps, and you can actually take the envelope itself and make that be wider too. Like you could actually take this envelope part and put flaps in here and make that expand as well, so that you have a really large envelope if you wanted to, if you had a bunch of stuff you wanted to stick in there. Oh my goodness, why are you being so difficult, Mr. Glue? All right. Okay, note to self, be better prepared with glue before doing a video. Okay, so you're just gonna glue here, just like that, and you're gonna line it up to where your fold is, and just put it right there. Don't worry if it goes over, because you can always cut it off, but you do want to have it lined up correctly so it's not hanging over the edge of the envelope. Stick that there, and you can just dab that off. Then you're going to grab your other one, do the same thing. And I like to use the tacky white glue, because I have some of the stuff I'll use the clear glue on, but really a lot of it is just, it doesn't dry well enough for me. It like takes way too long to dry, and I'm just spending too much time waiting on things to dry. So here we go. We're tacky glued up, and we're in line, and you can see I got a little bit extra right there. So I am just gonna take my scissors right there, And we've already scored it here. That here. And again, like I said, this is just a super quick tutorial so you can get an idea of how I do it. I'm not going to do the whole shebang. Well, I guess I could if you guys want to watch. So now we're going to glue here and get enough glue on there so that it keeps everything in place. And you don't have to worry about it coming off, you know, when you're giving it to somebody. A lot of these are things that I swap. I'm on SwapBot, and I like to share the things I make. Sometimes I sell them, like a couple of my loaded envelopes are on Etsy and stuff like that, because people like to buy them because they're unique, they're different, and they basically are one of a kind. I don't make two of anything. Everything I make is a one of a kind item. Okay, so let's wipe off the glue here. Here's the front of my envelope. Here's my pocket, and got the pocket lined up pretty well. Make sure it's even, and again, the tacky glue too does give you a little bit of ability to move things around, and you know, if you don't have it lined up amazingly well the first time, also always have like a towel or rag or something to get extra glue up, because it's going to come out. So there's our pocket with just a little bit of give, not a whole lot, but just a little. And again, sometimes I put 3 and 4 flaps in here, and you can really open it up if you want to. Then our last one, for our last piece of paper, and you can see I've only used 3 sheets of paper for this project. I think I might just score this at 1 inch all the way around and see how big a pocket it gives me. And maybe just use that, save me from cutting a little bit. And if it's too long, I can always go back and trim it up. I'm a big believer in you can always cut more off. You can't add more on because that doesn't usually look well. So here's our last pocket. We're going to fold on the score lines, of course, and just see before I glue it down how it's going to look. Oh, that's going to look great. But do I want to make it just a little shorter? I think I might just cut 1 inch off. So all I have to do is put it back in my paper cutter, line it up correctly, cut 1 inch off, and there we go. I think that's going to be perfect. Get out my glue again, my trusty finger tool, which is just my finger. And you can cut these off like I did the back too and make them at an angle if you want. You can get super fancy. I'm kind of quick with it. I like to craft, but I also like to get stuff done. So here we go. And we're just going to press that down. Ta-ta. Make sure get all the extra glue off. There we go. And we now have our base pocket. So, and I can show you super quick. Let's get some really pretty paper, and we'll just use, let's see what we'll use. We'll use DCWV stock. Oh, I haven't even opened this one yet, so this will be like the first time we get to open this one. So, and I do want to do a more of a, what's the word I'm looking for, like a vintage Christmas thing. So I'm not sure what sheet I want to use. Something like that. Oh, let's see. Okay. So I'm trying to choose which one I want, and you know how it is when you get a super, oh, this is double packed too. So this would be one too, where you could make your envelope with double paper, so you wouldn't even need to do what I'm going to do, cover them up. You've got beautiful papers where one side is just gorgeous, and then the back of that paper is just as nice. So that's another option you could do too. But let's get this open and pick out a sheet. that I'd like to use for this. I want to use something that's really, and see the color that I chose really matches pretty well with this sort of vintage one that I want to do. And I just kind of eyeball it again and see which color is gonna look the best. Now see, that looks just that. Oh, that's too close. They clash. That may work. Okay, I think that's the one. Okay, so we're gonna use this one, and this is super nice paper, and I just love this. So I'm opening with it with you guys for the first time. And again, super easy. You know your 6.5 here. So, and I always cut this top part off first. It's just too annoying for me. So I get rid of that. And I know, okay, I'm going to be 6.5. So since you got a 12 by 12 paper, it really doesn't matter which way I cut it. So the first sheet, now here's the other thing too, like some people like to split them in the middle and have them open up like that. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. When I use the double-sided paper is more when I like to split it. But you can do it if you want. I personally don't most of the time. So we're gonna see here. Are we too wide? All right, so first I want to measure it up to. Why I'm doing this is to make sure I am at 6. So I am going to take just a hair off because it's a little tight. So there we go. So that's going to fit perfectly in there. And then that's going to fit in there. And then we'll have a piece here. And I like to keep them all the same. You don't have to. You can make them however you want. Let's see. And then I just kind of, again, just do a little eyeball. I don't know, I guess I've been doing it long enough I don't need to do a whole lot of measuring. And then other stuff, I think, hey, I've been doing this so long, I don't need to do some measuring. And then I am rudely awakened to the fact that, yeah, Joe, you should have measured that. But I guess that's in anything, right? You just get used to doing it, and then you kind of get a little careless, which is not a good thing. So we're going to glue this really well. Make sure we get the corners super good. I am really, I swear, going to get the glue situation taken care of. So, kind of makes me feel like I did in kindergarten. I'm actually probably was neater in kindergarten than I am here someday. And we're lined up good there. And then we're going to take the second one, and we just need to be right about there. Measure that. And we're going to sit right in there. Okay. And this is pretty quick. So this video so far is about 18 minutes. And once you get into the routine of making it and you have glue or tape that actually works well for you, you'll be able to get them done a lot quicker, to where you get into a routine, or you could just actually make bases and then come back and, you know, do this part of it if you'd want, where you've got most of it done, and then you come back and work on it. There's that. And you could make this top part different if you wanted to. Me, I'm going to keep it all the same all the way through. And then probably when I go to do the design work, I'll probably spruce it up a little with maybe, I usually use dyes and embellishments and stuff like that. So basically you just want to have a nice even texture, a nice even look when you start putting your stuff on, because you don't want to have, you know, it's not going to look good if you've got different patterns and designs all over the place as your base. It's just, in my opinion, not going to look as good as it could. When you have your whole envelope coordinated, you've got your colors coordinated, you've got everything the way it should be, then you're starting with a really nice base to make your project really turn out super well. Okay. Then we're going to do the back. And the back, ooh, it's not gonna go so well for me here. Alright, so we'll do 6.5 again. And I may have to break out that other sheet is what I'm thinking. Or maybe not, we'll see. We'll see if we line up. It's a little too fat right there. But we'll wait. Let's see. Yeah, see, I can't do that. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to make him a little skinnier. Put it in there. Like that. I'm not going to glue him because I just don't want to take up any more video time. So what I'm going to do is I could do that, maybe. Let's see. Let's see if there's any way I can make this work. There. And maybe it might work. I don't know. Now I'm probably gonna have to break out the other sheets. Thought I could swing it. So what I'll do is I'll use that for something else, like another embellishment or something. And the good thing about this is there's always 2 of the same sheet. Let's hope there is. This is a brand new one, so it should have the second sheet in here. There it is. Okay. And then I just need to finish the last one. So again, we know it's 6.5. 6.5 right there. So we know we're 6.5. And then I can see we're gonna be right here. And line it up with the spot to cut it. And there's our base. So I'll just glue these last couple of pieces on, and then I can put measurements down in the comments later, but this way the video's up and you can see it doesn't take long. This whole video is taken 20 minutes with me having glue issues, chatting issues, all that kind of stuff. I did not stop it and redo anything. I just kept right on going. So if you don't have the blunders and you're prepared before you start your envelope, I'm sure it's going to go a lot quicker. And again, you could, like, I don't want to say mass produce, but you could make some of your bases first and then come back and put your papers on and stuff that make it look real nice. And there we go. Now this one's kind of long, so what I'll do is I'll just snip that off, that extra a little bit, because I like it to have like it to be even. And we'll just slide it over. And there we go. And then later I'll glue that back. Later I'll glue that back on. And there's our loaded envelope base. All right, let's glue it just because now it's bugging me. Hang on. Get the glue. I really need to get this glue fixed. I really gotta do this. I wonder how much I'm wasting too. Oh my god, I think I was better in kindergarten. I really do. That was neater. Alright. Okay. And again, this is just a quick job to show you guys basically how I do it. Alright. And we'll put that in here. Oops, we'll put that in here. And there is our loaded envelope base. And like I said, if you'd like to come back and you know, cut the middle down and make it open up and fold out, you could always do that too. I don't particularly like to do that a whole lot. So there is your loaded envelope base. Matching colors, nice pockets, and there you go. And maybe tomorrow I'll show you, maybe I will slice it tomorrow and then show you how I do the embellishments and stuff. Anyway, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I try and do videos as much as I can, and I like to have fun, happy videos, and I promise I'll work on my glue situation. Have a good night.